Good morning, I am Dr. Balasubramanian, Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, P.S.R. Engineering College. Today we have discussed about the topic cloud computing, concept and technique and a hands-on approach. What are all the outline about cloud computing technologies and the concept and technologies? The first one is cloud computing definition. Then we have to discuss about the characteristics of cloud computing, cloud deployment models and service models. Then what are the applications of cloud service? Next one is the definition about cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Before we have to discuss about the cloud computing, the US National Institute of Standard and Technology defined cloud computing as a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to share a pool of configurable computing resources. Like if we can share the network, we can share the servers, storage and what are all the live applications, software application. So those are the thing to configure computing various resources to accumulate as a one part of the place, that is called cloud computing. So that thing to be defined as US National Institute of Standard Technology initially defined. What are the characteristics of cloud computing? The first one is on-demand self-service, broad network access. So what are the characteristics of cloud computing? First one is we have to discuss about reduced cost, outsourced management, reliability, multi-tenancy. So the first one is on-demand service. On-demand service of characteristics of cloud computing. The cloud computing resources can be provisional on demand by the user without requiring any interaction with the cloud service provider. So here the process of provision resourcing is automatically automated. So when the user what kind of service demand, what kind of service need, is simply say pay as on service. Next one is broad network access. Broad network access means cloud computing resources can be accessed over the network using standard access mechanism that provide platform independent access through the use of heterogeneous client platform such as workstation, laptop, tablets and smartphone. Those are the thing is broad network access. Next one of the characteristics called resource pooling. Resource pooling is one of the important characteristics because then the storage resources provided by the cloud service provider are pooled to serve multiple users using multi-tenancy, because at the time of the server depends upon the multitask, multi-resources access the single time of the moment. So that situation, the multi-tenant aspect of the cloud allows multiple users to be served by the same physical hardware system. Next one is rapid elasticity. The rapid elasticity is one of the very important characteristics of cloud computing, because this cloud computing resource can be provisioned rapidly and elastically. So cloud's resource can be rapidly scaled up or down based on demand. So here the method scaling. So when it's used for scaling in rapid elasticity, it category of two types. One is called horizontal, another one is vertical scaling. That thing is discussed will be later. Next one of the characteristics called measured service. Cloud computing resources are provided to user on a pay per use model. Yes, this is very important. When the end user which is required for the service, I need for software assets, I need for platform, I need for that is called as another one is infrastructure. When is need for infrastructures, what kind of infrastructure to be needed, I could pay the particular service. I need for the software application, so I pay the particular per use model. So these usage of the cloud resources is measured and the user is charged based on some specific metric. Last one is performance. Performance in cloud computing to improve the performance for the application, software application. The resource available to the application can be scaled up or down based on the dynamic application workloads. Next one is reduced cost is one of the important characteristics, none other about the normal traditional computing technology. So cloud computing technology, why is very important characteristics of reduced cost means, here to provide cost benefit for application as only as much computing storage resources required can be provisional dynamically, upfront investment of the purchase computing assessed to overall the cost. So that thing to be avoided for the worst case situation computing assets. And another one is outsource management is very important. Here large organizations, small or medium enterprises, government to allow the user to outsource the particular website or web server, the IT infrastructure requirement to the external cloud provider. That thing is called outsource management. And next one is reliability. It's very important, reliability of cloud computing. So when its application deployed in the cloud computing environment, it generally have a higher reliability since the underlying information technology infrastructure, that is called IaaS, to provisionally managed by the cloud service. Next one is multi-tenancy. So already I told that the multi-tenant approach of the cloud allow multiple users at the time of moment to access the cloud environment to make use of the same shared resource among those who are connecting the user depends upon the cloud environment. In virtual multi-tenancy computing and storage resources are shared among multiple users. In organic multiple tenancy, every component in the system architecture is shared among multiple tenants. Next one is, what are all the service models available in the cloud environment? One is called infrastructure. It's the basic structure and basic service is the cloud service model. Second one is platform as a service. Third one is software as a service. It can be represented as a triangle member. The base about the triangle, it is called infrastructure. When it's creating the infrastructure, then we have to design the platform. When we have designed the platform, what kind of application software, system software, how to manage the user interface to provide throughout the network, that thing could be incorporated in the software as a service. So these are the structure from infrastructure to software as a service. These are the thing is called as cloud service model. Simply in saying infrastructure as a service, when the e-commerce environment, e-commerce business structure, when they design the website, they need go for infrastructure. Is preferable for a service in the cloud platform, because here is focusing about the virtual computing technology and storage network resource that can be provisional on demand as a service. So that is a better way creating the e-commerce business platform. Next one is that according to the platform, so what kind of application development framework need and what kind of operating system, what kind of deployment to access the framework to the particular infrastructure, that thing to be designed the service as platform. And last one is application, that is called software, application software and system software. So these are the things, the user interface between the application and user is preferable for software as a service. Let us, we have to discuss about one by one. First one is we have discussed software as a service. So here software or interface to provide the user complete software application or the user interface to the application itself. So here is focusing outsource management, thin client interface, ubiquitous access. Ubiquitous access is the unique access about the particular service provider managing both application data and user are able to access the application from anywhere. Thin client infrastructures. So here this one kind of this interface to provide the user and what kind of application. For example, it's a browser. When we go for Firefox browser, whatever the browser, in SaaS application the platform independent. Is not yet dependable, is independent, can be accessed from various client devices such as workstation, laptop, tablets and smartphones running different operating system. Next one is outsource management. So the cloud service provider managing the underlying cloud infrastructures including server, network, operating system, storage, application software and the user in another of the underlying architectures of the cloud. So these are the things to be covered software as a service. Next one is we have to discuss about platform as a service. Platform as a service. Platform as a service, deployment, development and deployment, provider managing infrastructures, user managed application. These are the things to be supportable for platform as a service. So PaaS provide the user the capability to develop and deploy application in the cloud using the development tool. Application programming interface is very important because API, without API cannot be any access from the here to and another system or server to not able to access, because the API is very friendly manner of the end user and the system manager. So software libraries and services provided by the cloud service provider. Provider managing the infrastructure is next one of the service of the platform. That is because the provider managing the underlying the cloud entire infrastructure, server, network, operating system and what are the kind of storage that could be managing this good cloud provider creating a structure. Next one is user managing application. The user, what kind of applications themselves responsible for developing, deployment, configuring and managing application on the cloud infrastructures. Next one is infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure as a service, resource provisioning is very important, and mainly we are focusing about virtual machine. So multi-tenancy is one of the characteristics of cloud computing. In this scenario, the virtual machine will support for those are the resources are provided to the user, virtual machine instance, virtual storage. So user can stop, configure, manageability, change control, change management system. So everything is happening with the usage of virtual machine instance and virtual storage. And next one is provider manager infrastructure. The cloud service provider manages the underlying infrastructures is very important, and a very important keyword of the cloud environment: pay per use, pay as you go. When you have pay, which kind of platform you have to be choose. When you have pay, which kind of software application software to be needed. Which you have to pay, which kind of infrastructure will be needed. So the virtual resources provisioned by the user are built based on a pay per user, pay as you go paradigm. So next one is we have to discuss about another one of the model, service model in cloud deployment model, cloud using in cloud environment. So one is these are the categories of cloud deployment model. So what are the categories as public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, hybrid cloud. What is meant by public cloud? Public cloud means available for public user or a large industry group. So those who are the user can easily access, like for Google. So when you go for Google, you have to the search engine, you have to type the text. So you have to download a document through the end user. So those who are connecting the particular document, everyone can access those kind of data. Private cloud is a secure system. So know about some credential to provide two kind of end user. So operating for some exclusive use of a single organization, not for a large organization. Next one is community cloud. Is another type of one of the deployment model that is called available for shared use of several organizations supporting a specific community. And next one is hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is combined both private and public, like multiple clouds that remaining unique but bound together to offer application or data portability. So when you go for private, when you go for accessing for public cloud, it's both combined together is called as hybrid cloud. Next one is cloud service example. So what are the real time situated, what kind of needs in the examples about the cloud service? IaaS, Amazon EC2, Google Compute, Engine, Google Engine, and Windows Azure PMS virtual machines. PaaS, Google App Engine, SaaS,